My name is Megan Bannett. I'm Director of Programs at the Indiana Center for Prevention of Youth Abuse and Suicide. This presentation is going to share information on the personal safety or body safety, sometimes we call it either one, provided in Center Grove schools. Now, state law requires all public, charter, and accredited private schools in Indiana offer this type of education each year to students in kindergarten through 12th grades. You can find information about the programs that we offer on our website at indianaprevention.org. The parent and caregiver information for all of our youth programs can be found under our programs tab. We also offer additional resources to support you in safeguarding your children, such as activities, sample digital safety contracts, as well as adult trainings that are free every month, and many times they're virtual. Um, Now, let's get started on why we talk about this. Now, the Indiana Center for Prevention, we provide educational programs to both youth and adults focused on preventing specifically child sexual abuse, youth suicide, and digital victimization of children. Now, we started providing prevention education to youth in 2002, shortly after opening our doors as Chaucey's Place Child Advocacy Center. While we're no longer a child advocacy center, we remain committed to our founding mission to educate adults and youth and equip our communities with tools to prevent child sexual abuse and youth suicide. And in 2022, we expanded our focus to include digital safety since so many youth are being groomed using digital means. And in some cases of youth suicide, there is a digital aspect, such as when there's cyberbullying or a case of sextortion, even. And in 2022, the Indiana Center for Prevention became the community education partner of the Indiana State Police Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. It's imperative that as adults, we know the facts about child sexual abuse so we can more effectively protect our children. It's also important to share these facts with you so you can better understand why these types of programs are needed and why our program goes beyond teaching children just stranger danger. It is estimated that 1 in 10 children will be sexually abused before their 18th birthday. 90% of child sexual abuse cases, the person harming a child is someone that child knows. In 60% of cases of child sexual abuse, the person abusing the child is someone outside of the child's immediate or extended family members. It's someone who has access to that child in another way. In many cases, it's another youth who is sexually abusing a child. Many times that could be a babysitter, older cousin, or maybe a neighbor child. And these statistics reflect only contact sexual offenses and does not address the digital safety issues that our children face today. Online enticement includes a range of crimes such as engaging in sexual conversation with a minor online, asking someone under the age of 18 for sexually explicit photos or videos, or asking a child to meet in person for the purpose of sex. Online enticement is happening to even very, very young children. The cyber tip line received an average of 511 reports of online enticement every day in 2023. And in 2024, the Indiana State Police received an average of 50 cyber tip line reports every day. And those numbers are climbing. Luckily, you are not alone in your fight to keep your child safe. The Indiana Center for Prevention provides personal safety education to tens of thousands of youth every year. We partner with Child Help to provide Speak Up, Be Safe personal safety or abuse prevention programming to youth in kindergarten through 12th grades. Independent research shows this program is effective and appropriate for children. This is a single session in which we teach some basics of personal safety so that a child is more able to recognize signs of grooming and get help before they are harmed. For kindergarten, the lesson is about 30 minutes long, and for all other grades, it's about 45 minutes long. And we try to make these sessions interactive with games, activities, and scenarios. We use videos in each grade to reinforce different aspects of personal safety, and I'll show you a few of these in a moment. You can also find links to all of the videos that we use in these educational programs on our website. Now, our approach to this type of education is to educate and empower kids, not to scare them. We don't ever share worst case scenarios or explicit details of abuse. We teach children that adults are responsible for their safety, and we define safety as care, protection, someone prioritizing their well being, and of course, the absence of danger. We teach children that they are each special and deserve to be safe. We also highlight that there are rules that keep them safe and that everyone is expected to follow those rules. We teach them that everyone has private body parts, which are covered by bathing suits. At no point in time are we naming private body parts in this new program. We also teach them that no one should look at, touch, or take pictures or videos of a child's private body parts or ask them to do any of those things to someone else. We discuss times when a grown up may need to help a child with private body parts, such as when they go to the doctor or when mom or dad is in the room with them when they're changing or helping them in the bathroom. We emphasize that touching private body parts is never a game and not something that anyone should ask a child to keep a secret about. Now, starting in kindergarten, we use the term abuse for when someone does something on purpose to hurt another person. Starting in third grade, we define the terms physical abuse, emotional abuse, and neglect, since Indiana state law does require these types of programs to cover all forms of abuse. The term sexual abuse is not introduced until sixth grade, so your children will not even hear that term until they are in middle school. Now, Child Help Speak Up, Be Safe teaches children in all grades 5 basic safety rules. With younger children, we teach them hand motions for each of the 5 rules, which helps them retain this vital information. The first rule is it's my body. When children understand that their body belongs to them and they have a right to say no to any uncomfortable touch, we empower them and make them less vulnerable to abuse. The second rule is ask an adult if I'm safe. Sometimes it can be difficult for kids to recognize an unsafe situation. They may have that oh feeling, but not know why, or someone may try to trick them into thinking abuse is normal or a game. By teaching them to ask an adult if they are uncertain whether a situation is safe, we are reinforcing that they have safe adults who will protect them. The third rule is I have choices. In kindergarten through third grade, we teach them to use their words, to say no, to get away, and to stay away. Starting in fourth grade, we expand on those 3 choices by teaching them the acronym RESIST, which we'll talk more about in a moment. The fourth safety rule is tell someone. If something happens to a child, we want them to tell so it doesn't happen again. The final safety rule is it's never my fault. Sometimes when a child is abused, they think they did something wrong. Sometimes the person who abuses them is telling them that everyone will blame the child. This belief can keep a child silent and enable the abuse to continue. With these safety rules, we equip children with information to recognize and resist abuse and to get help if someone harms them. We expand on the third safety rule of I have choices and teach children the resist strategy. This acronym stands for run. We encourage them to get away. Escape. How can they safely get out of this situation? Scream. We teach kids the different ways they can use their voice to get help or to resist abuse. Ignore. In some situations, like street harassment or bullying, sometimes ignoring that individual is the safest choice in the moment. We also teach them stay away, to avoid the unsafe person, and last, to tell an adult. Now, several of the videos that we use in kindergarten through 5th grade are from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's Kids Smarts program. This video is used to reinforce the safety concept of telling a trusted adult if you are uncomfortable and is shown in first grade.
Kid Smarts.
My mom gave us some cookies to share.
Thank you, Mrs. Diaz.
I'll be inside if you guys need anything else.
What should we do after lunch?
I don't know. Jen? Hello? Earth to Jen.
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking.
About.
Well, you know Mr. Madigan?
Yeah?
What do you guys think of him?
He's okay. Why?
I just don't like him that much.
Is he mean to you?
No, but he makes me feel uncomfortable. He's always trying to talk to me alone. It just feels weird.
You should tell an adult.
A trusted adult.
What's the difference?
Trusted adults are special. You can count on them to listen to you and help you. They make you feel safe.
Like my teacher, Mrs. Johnson? I told her when some kids were bullying me, and she stopped them.
Exactly. Or my dad. He teaches me things and helps me when I'm scared. I know he's a trusted adult because he's there for me no matter what.
I could tell my mom. She always helps me out, but I don't want to make a big deal out of it.
If it's bothering you, it is a big deal. You should tell.
But what if my mom gets mad?
Trusted adults don't get mad when you tell them how you feel. They help you.
Okay, I'll talk to my mom as soon as she gets home.
Good idea. And speaking of asking trusted adults for help, Mom, we need more cookies.
Sugar cookies if you have them.
Chocolate chip, preferably.
Now, in order to give you an idea of the range of videos that we show in kindergarten through fifth grade, I'm going to show you the child help video called Red Flags that we use in fifth grade. And remember, you can find links to all of the videos that we use in every grade at our website at indianaprevention.org.
Can you tell if a predator is targeting you? Whether online or in person, predators go to great lengths to make you believe they're your best friend, or even that they love you. They watch and listen for clues and target your needs and desires. So, how can you tell if a friendship is real, or if someone is out to exploit you? Watch for red flags. These signs tell you when something is not right. They give you constant attention and even gifts. They tell you how much they care. Then they demand you do something risky. It could be a nude selfie, taking a trip, or something else that's not good for you to prove you care about them. If they trick you into something, they use it against you. You might as well keep doing it, they say. Or they threaten to expose your secret. You feel helpless. They have control over you, and now it's too late, right? No, it's never too late to tell and get help. Being exploited is never your fault. Pay attention to the red flags, trust your gut feelings, respect yourself. Talk to your safe adults. They can help you recognize predators and help keep you safe.
As you can see in fifth grade, we start to focus more explicitly on digital safety since so many social interactions among children are happening online. Now, it's important to understand what our, oh, I'm sorry. The other thing, sorry, I got ahead of myself. ICPYS also offers talk time. Talk time provides students with a confidential way to speak with someone about a possible safety concern on the same day as their lesson. At the end of the lesson, students are given a slip of paper where they respond yes or no to the statement of, I am being kept safe. For kindergarten through second grade students, shapes correspond to the yes/no answers. Their name and their teacher's name is included on this exit slip, which the school typically keeps. ICPYS does not keep anything with student names on it. Indiana Center for Prevention staff follow a script when facilitating the exit slip. We review the definition of safety and rules about private body parts, with times when it may be okay for an adult to help them with those private body parts. And we emphasize that abusive behavior is on purpose and answer any questions students have. We also provide privacy to the students who may have a safety concern. We tell students that we try to select a few students from each class to tell Indiana Center for Prevention staff what they thought about the program, answer any questions they have, and make sure they are being kept safe. Students who have a possible safety concern are then brought into the school office to meet individually with a trained Indiana Center for Prevention talk time facilitator and the school counselor or social worker. Most of the kids describe incidents that are not abusive, things like little brother or sister walking into the bathroom without knocking, or someone pushing them on the playground. Now, if a child describes possible abuse, neglect, or digital crimes against children, Indiana Center for Prevention assists school staff in making a report to the authorities per state law. Um, and in Center Grove, all grades are offered talk time. Now, it is important to understand what the program does not teach. Um, so, we do not teach children anything pertaining, again, to the act of sex or share explicit details of any form of abuse. Sharing details of abuse can cause a child to become fearful and is really counterproductive in teaching them skills they need to stay safe. We also do not cover anything about human development, gender identity, sexual orientation, or suicide. If any questions arise pertaining to any of these topics, we direct their children to ask their parents or grown-ups at home. You can never have too many conversations with your child about safety. Preparing your child for this lesson is a great opportunity for parents and caregivers to revisit this talk. For elementary age students, it's a great time to review names for private body parts and your expectations when it comes to privacy in your home, as well as digital safety. While I wish a single safety lesson is all a child needed in order to stay safe, the fact is that children need to have ongoing conversations about safety with their parents and caregivers. No matter the age of your child or what you think your child may encounter, talk about safety. Use books, movies, or current news to talk about healthy relationships and safety. Please try not to use the worst case scenarios where children are abducted or murdered, as again, this can cause a lot of anxiety, especially in those younger kids. And for older kids, they tend to dismiss those scenarios because they assume the worst could never happen to them. I also encourage you to visit our parent information page. There's a link to some activities that you can go home, that you can use at home, including a fun what if game where you can test your child's knowledge of how they should respond to different safety situations. Now, I also encourage you to visit Thorn for Parents. That has some great digital safety conversation starters for different age children, because again, our children are having more and more online interactions, and the age at which kids access online spaces is getting younger. So we need to get ahead of this issue. I also encourage you to create safety plans for in-person activities as well as digital activities. When you start early before they possibly encounter something and have these ongoing conversations with your child, you become the go-to expert for them. You are their source of information, rather the internet or a friend. Your relationship with your child is one of the most effective prevention tools that you have. And again, you can find these and more activities to continue vital safety conversations with your kids on our website at our parent information page under the programs tab. Now, here are some great books for young students that can make these conversations happen more frequently and make them a little bit more fun. Many of these books are read aloud on YouTube or may be found at your local public library. The 4 books listed at the top address child sexual abuse pretty directly and include naming private body parts. The 3 books listed at the bottom are less direct and reinforce key safety concepts. There are also some concrete steps you can take to safeguard your children, and I encourage you to sign up for one of our free monthly safety courses for adults, since I cannot possibly cover all the tools you can use to protect your child, but I'll briefly share a few. 80% of child sexual abuse incidents occur in isolated one-on-one situations, and the vast majority of perpetrators are someone the child knows. When we become more aware of potentially dangerous situations, we can more effectively protect our kids. While some of these tips are great, are geared more towards younger kids, we can easily adapt some of these for teens who may be spending more time outside of direct adult supervision. I encourage you before you send your child into someone else's home or into a different program or a different organization, ask who else will be there. What are their policies about supervision? Do they have an open door policy in their home? If they are sleeping over in someone's house, ask about who else will be there and what are the sleeping arrangements. When it comes to digital safety, the in-person safety rules apply. I encourage you to monitor your child's online activities, set up those parental controls. And I encourage you also to prohibit the use of headphones whenever possible, as it makes it much easier to monitor what type of conversations or things your child is listening to online. Establish a device bedtime where all your child's devices are placed on a charger in a common area until the morning. Not only does this limit their access to the internet overnight, but it also gives you an opportunity to spot check their online activities. Create no device zones, such as bathrooms and locker rooms, or require that doors remain open if a child is using a device in their bedroom. Because many times, explicit photos when children are taking these of themselves, they are taking these in their bathrooms or their bedrooms. I encourage you to be curious. Ask your kids about their online activities, how their apps work, and who their online friends are. This is a great way to talk about digital safety, and really gets your kid feeling like they are the expert and sharing this very big part of their life with you. Now, if your child does disclose something, try to remain calm. Listen without judgment or shame. Thank them for coming to you and reassure them that they are not to blame. Even if they made a poor choice or did something they were not supposed to do, focus on the fact that they came to you in that moment. Talk about consequences later if you need to. Praise them for coming to you because you always want your kid to come to you when they need help. Answer their questions honestly and reassure them that together you will figure this out, and then take action. Everyone in the state of Indiana is mandated by law to report suspected child abuse or neglect to the Indiana Child Abuse Hotline or law enforcement. If you are unsure how to support your child, reach out to your local child advocacy center, and you can find a list of those child advocacy centers at incacs.org. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children provides a lot of great support, from tip sheets about privacy settings on different devices to services to support youth and families after something has happened. They also run the Cyber Tip Line, which is a national reporting platform for child abuse and online exploitation. They also offer Take It Down, a free service that helps identify and remove sexually explicit images of minors online. Many of these resources and others can be found at our website. Now, at the Indiana Center for Prevention, we are committed to ensuring that our programs are acceptable and effective to the youth and families we serve. If you or your students are interested in providing us with some feedback, we are conducting brief pre and post programming surveys online this year for any volunteer parents and their kids. These surveys help us make decisions about the programs we provide, and your feedback would be very much appreciated. Now, if you have any questions or are interested in hearing more about some of the other programs that we offer, particularly those for adults, you can contact me. And my contact information is there. It's just my first name, Megan at indianaprevention.org, or you can call me at 317-759-8008. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to help you in your fight to protect your child. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we can answer any questions that came up. So let me check the Q&A. No, we don't cover anything about gender identity, sexual orientation. That's one of the questions that came up. And absolutely not. We don't talk about any of that stuff. It is just a very straightforward personal safety program. And where can I find videos used for fifth graders? The one that we viewed tonight that was about red flags, we use that in fifth grade. You can also find that at indianaprevention.org. If you go to our programs tab, you will see the Child Help Speak Up Be Safe program, and you will see all of the videos that we use in that tab. Any other questions? Healthy boundaries and consent. That's good. Yes, that's an excellent question. We do talk about personal boundaries starting in fifth grade, thereabout. We start to touch on a little bit in fourth grade, but really fifth grade is where we start to talk about it more directly and talk about personal boundaries and how having and communicating those personal boundaries can keep you safe. We don't talk about consent. Even with the older grades, that's not part of this program. So that is not something that we talk about. I will tell you, if your kids go through other types of education about human reproduction and things like that, that's when they cover the consent talk usually. Another one. Oh, no, video. Kindergarten does have a video. It's a cute little video from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. It's called Check First. And we're just encouraging those little kids that before they go anywhere, even if it's to the neighbor's house to see their new puppy, that they need to check with their grown up at home first. And they should always check with an adult before they leave anywhere with someone else. Any other questions? These are great questions.
While we give a minute for anyone who's maybe typing in a question, we do obviously allow parents to opt their student out if they feel that's appropriate for their child. So to do that, you would just request the opt-out form from your student's building social worker or school counselor. So you can just reach out to them directly to get that if needed.